Hello, beautiful souls. It is beginning to look a lot like Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or whatever Festivus, whatever holiday celebration you happen to be preparing for this time of year. I want to talk about how to make it a little bit less stressful and a little more peaceful, authentic, and fulfilling. Because let's face it, this time of year, a lot of midlife women find ourselves juggling a momentous to do list and striving to create the perfect holiday experience for our loved ones, which is oh so admirable, but also so freaking stressful on us. So let's explore how we can cultivate a happier and more peaceful holiday so you don't burn out and you're ready to take on the new year without a lot of stress. The holidays come with high expectations, both from outside of ourselves, from society, from our families, and also from inside ourselves, wanting everything to be perfect for our families. We envision these flawless gatherings with immaculate decorations and amazing food and joyous family moments with our kids getting along and everybody, no one talking politics, and everyone being on their best behavior. But these ideals can kind of set us up for failure and disappointment. So, what to do about it? Well, research even shows that our brains tend to set us up for disappointment by creating inflated expectations just because it's the holidays. I mean, for an example, like let's face it, if something happens on a Tuesday in September, it doesn't bother us that much. But the same thing happens on Christmas morning, and it's like, my Christmas is ruined in 2024, and it's like a big deal, right? But we don't have to buy into that. Just because it's Christmas doesn't mean it has to be a perfect day for everyone in the family. And when we have our expectations up so high, it it makes that disappointment so much worse for us. So, one powerful way to reclaim our peace is through mindfulness. By staying present and releasing this need for perfectionism or releasing this need for perfection, we can fully embrace the joy of the season. So, let's address first of all a pervasive myth in society. We can call it the Supermom syndrome, you can call it whatever you want, but something in all of us kind of puts the responsibility on moms specifically to make everyone's holiday perfect for everyone. And not only is this an unrealistic expectation, but it can actually be detrimental to our health. And let's face it, when we're not happy, no one else in the family is going to be happy anyway. So we might as well put effort into releasing ourselves of these damaging belief systems. It can be something so simple as setting the intention right now that you are not going to hold yourself responsible for anyone else's happiness over the holidays. You can show up, you can do your best, you can do what's authentic to you, but taking on the responsibility for someone else's happiness is the definition of bad boundaries. Okay? So let's not do that. That's a myth. We're busting it. Also, in harmony with this or in conjunction with this is the idea that we have to do it all ourselves, that we're responsible for all of the holiday planning and execution. And it doesn't have to be like that. It might be as simple as like getting together, gathering your whole family together and kind of talking through what you all want the holidays to look like and how each person can contribute to that family shared vision. But at the very least, it can be, asking people for help. Like, can you make can you make your holiday meal a potluck instead of doing it all yourself? Or can you outsource the gift buying to some of the other family members? Maybe your spouse could help, or another family member can pitch in and help where you might not normally ask for it. That can take a lot of stress off of you. So now I want to talk about a few really practical tips for how to get through and create a more peaceful holiday season. The first one is setting unrealistic expectations, like embracing imperfections throughout your holiday season and focusing on creating meaningful moments with your family instead of this flawless execution that we hold ourselves to these standards. I don't have a perfect family, and we're a very non-traditional blended family. I'm divorced. I have a boyfriend who has 2 kids. We've been together for a long time, but we're not married. We don't live together. So it's a very imperfect, non-traditional situation. And so we came up with our own kind of holiday tradition that is also quite imperfect, where when the kids were little, we would go to the dollar store on Christmas Eve and give them each $6 and let them buy 6 presents for 6 people, and then we would go back to my house and exchange the gifts. And it was very imperfect, but also quite hilarious. And so I'm just sharing that example as a way that you can set realistic expectations for yourself and not have to have like everything look like a Norman Rockwell painting. Norman Rockwell painting. It can be imperfect and flawed and funny, and you can get creative. You don't have to do it the way you've always done it. The second one is to, of course, practice mindfulness. This not only means like a daily practice of taking time for yourself and breathing, even if it's only 1 minute or 5 minutes, just to take a moment and center, breathe into your heart, maybe focus on something that's going well or that you're grateful for. So, having that daily mindfulness practice, but also bringing a mindful attitude to all of your holiday celebrations instead of letting that stress take over and the perfectionism take over of it's got to be a certain way. What if you went to all of your holiday gatherings and obligations with just an expectation that you be present for it, that you show up fully for it, no matter what happens? I find that this helps me take the edge off of stress for any situation. I even used it on my wedding day. So, practicing mindfulness and bringing mindfulness to each and every situation. The third tip is to prioritize self care. I think there's no greater time of the year, and self care can be something simple like taking that 5 minutes for yourself. It can be self care like saying no to something and letting yourself sit on the couch and watch TV for a night. It can be going and scheduling a massage. It can be taking a walk in the woods. Whatever it is that helps you fill your cup before going out and having to give to everyone else. The fourth tip is establishing boundaries. This is a time of the year where I think it's more important than any other time of the year to go by the rule. If it's not a hell yes, it's a no. And really getting clear on what are the events and the gatherings that you really feel excited about, that you want to participate in, and do those. And if it's like I don't really want to do that, then say no. Let yourself off the hook. Give yourself some time to yourself to do what you want to do. Read a book. So establishing boundaries and letting your friends and family know, like, you know, maybe tell them specifically, I'm going to do things differently this year. I'm going to prioritize my peace. And this means I'm not going to be doing this, this, and this. I'm sorry if that disappoints you, because you're not responsible for their happiness, right? Remember, rule number 1. And tip number 5 is don't be afraid to create new traditions that work for you. Just because a tradition worked when your children were young, like Elf on the Shelf, doesn't mean you have to keep doing that. And now I can't even do it because I don't even have, my kid went off to college. So there's Elf on the Shelf would be really pointless this year, along with a lot of other traditions. In fact, this year, I'm not even going to be with my kids for Christmas. So we had to move our Christmas celebration to Thanksgiving week. And maybe we'll do something a little after the new year. But sometimes the holidays are not going to be preferred, and we have to make peace with that and just bring our presence to the table. So remember, the essence of the holidays is connection and meaningful moments with friends and family. It is not about creating the perfect event or the perfect situation. So, the more we can release these unrealistic expectations and embrace our own authenticity, we can experience a truly fulfilling season. I'm wishing you all a very serene and happy, peaceful holiday season. I'm wishing you good health and blessings for the new year, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps. And please, in the comments, please share any tips that you have for minimizing stress in your holidays, and share any fun traditions that you've come up with that might help us all be creative about how we approach this holiday season. See you in the next video.